reading.
According to all known laws of aviation.
Narration of the reading. Narrating?
Yellow, black, ooh, black and yellow, yeah, let's shake it up a little.
This is the movie's first joke, and it's so lame you wonder how the rest of the movie ever got made in the first place. Another indication of this movie's terrible humor inside of 2 minutes. Honey used as hair gel, gargle, and deodorant. Bees! Honey! Laugh, damn you!
And a perfect report card. All bees.
Get ready for an hour and a half of bee puns, and that's about it.
Stop flying in the house.
Why the hell would bees have cars? More importantly, how the hell would bees have cars? Is this just an animated version of all the things Jerry Seinfeld likes? Like cars, sneakers, and dating women that are way out of his league? It is? Oh. Comedians in cars getting paychecks. Okay, I'm willing to buy that these bees operate more or less like humans, only they retain most of the characteristics of bees. But there's a fucking pizzeria in this hive, and it's successful enough to take up a large chunk of the front page of this paper. Also, shouldn't there be more concern over the frisbee hitting the hive? That must have been like a giant earthquake. These guys park the car and then illustrate why they shouldn't need a car by flying out of the car.
Quite a bit of pomp. Under the circumstances.
This thing should be called Pun Movie, and I don't mean that as a compliment. I like puns, I just prefer good ones.
Are we gonna pick our job today?
I heard it's just orientation.
How the hell do these assholes not know what's coming? Were they seriously not informed that they were gonna do bee shit? What was the point of school then?
That girl was hot.
She's my cousin. Yes, we're all cousins.
Casual reference to the rampant incest in this hive is extremely casual.
The same job for the rest of your life? I didn't know that.
How could you not have known that? This is something that would have been taught since birth, right? This ride is pretty stupid to begin with, but using honey instead of water for the flume is both wasteful of honey and resistant to the laws of physics and how honey works. Haha, nice Splash Mountain gag, but where is camera? There's nothing that's mounted anywhere near the slope to get this angle. Also, why is camera? Wait, they literally just said,
Everybody knows you sting someone, you die.
so how was this asshole able to off 7 other people, then himself?
Hey, those are pollen jocks.
Man, this movie sure is selective on what the main characters do and don't know. So they know who the pollen jocks are, but nothing else about how honey is made.
Aren't they our cousins too?
Distant.
Alabama.
We're going 0900 at J-Gate. What do you think, Buzzy boy?
Wait, so anyone can become a pollen jock at a moment's notice? I know the Flyboys are f***ing with Barry here, but they're also being serious about him leaving the hive. Is this a breach of protocol? Who the f*** knows anything about the rules here? I thought they were supposed to pick their occupations that day, right? But it seems like right after the corporate lady made that announcement, everyone went their separate ways. Jesus, I don't think this movie even stopped to watch itself.
Get a gold tooth and start calling everybody dogs.
Man, there's some excellent 90s comedy in this 2007 movie.
Whenever a bee dies, that's an opening. See that? He's dead. Dead. Another dead one.
This goes on for some time. Also, if this is the case, why rush to get a job picked anyway? Adam said the good jobs would be taken, but they're constantly opening up.
What happened to you?
Bee antenna are phones, and they actually make a ringing noise when you get a call.
Wind. Check. Antenna. Check.
Nectar pack, check. Wing, check. Stinger, check.
But these guys are all checking different things, and are only checking themselves, not the entire fleet. So this is some really wasteful use of radio waves.
Whoa! I'm out! I can't believe I'm out!
Why is this such a big deal? At the beginning of the movie, Adam and Barry were talking about their friend that was killed by a squirrel, so apparently school-age bees are able to leave the hive. But this is Barry's first time? Also, this shot suggests that the bees immediately ascend to the altitude of a New York City skyscraper, which is some serious bee. These kites are also being flown at or above the height of a skyscraper, despite a complete lack of string or people holding them.
We have Rose's visual.
So was this the 6-mile journey that the pollen jocks were talking about yesterday? They didn't even leave the fucking park. The movie completely reinvents how bees pollinate flowers, for the sake of, I guess maybe toy sales? I'm not sure why the guns had to be part of the equation, to be honest. Also, sure, the firing of suck guns in order to extract pollen from flowers is apparently extremely typical behavior, and is completely unnoticed by humans. Those aren't even roses, and your orders this morning definitely indicated roses. You're off script, Chief. Dude seriously reaches up to grab the frisbee that's surrounded by a swarm of fucking bees. That's commitment. None of these bees get swatted to death by any of these humans.
This is the coolest. What is it?
I don't know, but I'm loving this color.
This scene not only presupposes that experienced pollen jocks mistake tennis balls for flowers, but also that they've never seen these fuckers in Central Park. Animated upskirting. No lie, the movie is going to hinge on the first day out of the hive guy getting stuck on a tennis ball and not getting smashed by any of the ensuing tennis. Me, I'm sick of counting how many times a fucking bee would be killed over the last 2 minutes alone, so I'm just gonna guess it would be 32 and assign the movie that many fucking sins.
Can't fly in rain. Can't fly in rain.
Not only does he believe this wives' tale bull, but he's also literally flying in the rain while chanting this mantra.
Hey, check out my new resume. I made it into a fold-out brochure.
What the hell? Vanessa and Ken were playing tennis less than 2 movie minutes ago, and all we've seen is Barry get tossed into a car and fly into a window, but they had time to finish the game, pack up, and get all the way home?
Maybe this time. This time.
Barry enacts exactly how I feel watching this movie. Jesus, Vanessa was able to change clothes and come up with this spread in less than 30 seconds. Goddamn time-traveling Zellwegers covering up their goddamn tracks. It's at this point you start realizing Vanessa might actually want to f this bee. I guess I've seen more egregious product placement, but definitely not this cheesy.
Coffee?
I hate to impose.
Don't be ridiculous.
Actually, I would love a cup.
Setting aside the many impracticalities of this interspecies meet cute, how the would Barry drink a cup of f***ing coffee? Or know what coffee is, but not like Windows?
Watermelon? I thought you said Guatemalan.
Uh-huh.
Why would I marry a watermelon?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Seinfeld.
Humans. Humans. I can't believe you were with humans.
And apparently no one noticed that Barry was gone all day, despite the pollen jocks knowing specifically when he was lost.
How'd you get back?
Poodle?
But the hive was within sight of Bridget Jones' apartment, right? Barry could have flown home in a matter of seconds.
Do you know what a Cinnabon is?
Do you? Jesus, Barry was out of the hive for an afternoon, but apparently is super goddamn knowledgeable about human
Who can deny the heart that is yearning?
I can. I will gladly volunteer to deny said yearning bee heart. You're yearning for a human. This movie is dumber than stupid.
There he is. He's in the pool.
Wait, I thought honey was this super precious commodity, so why did the Bentons fill an entire f***ing swimming pool with it?
Oh, to be in the Tournament of Roses. That's every florist's dream.
I knew a florist once. Her dream was to turn a profit in a calendar year. I realized she kind of weirded out yesterday when they first spoke, but isn't she just a little too okay with talking to her new bee friend on day 2? It went from weird to normal in less than 18 hours.
Ray Liotta Private Select.
I can only assume this is a joke about Newman's own products, but Paul Newman's food label donates every red cent of profit to charity, so I'm not sure why it would deserve mockery. And if it's not a Newman's own joke, and it's just a famous person started a honey business joke, then you'd have gotten a lot more mileage out of using Jessica Alba here.
Bees don't know about this. This is stealing.
How in the world would bees not know about this? Maybe your hive doesn't know, but bees talk to other bees, right? None of them have ever seen a human harvesting their honey? He paints his yellow stripes black, but leaves his yellow face and yellow sweater alone, because he is a bee and has no concept of subterfuge. And this is a stupid movie. FYI, a bee is fencing with his stinger against a human using a thumbtack. This biker can feel the drag difference when a fucking bee lands on his backpack.
Why does everything have to be so doggone clean? Open your eyes! Stick your head out the window!
Movie saw Mulan and then called Chris Rock and said, "Hey, can we hire you to do, like, a B-movie version of that voice?"
Bee's got a brain the size of a pinhead!
They are pinheads.
I guess in order to be a successful beekeeper, one must have a consuming hatred of bees.
This is your queen? That's a man in woman's clothes. That's a drag queen.
Instead of pointing out the dated humor of a movie from way back in 2007, I'd like to submit the question of how a fucking bee knows what a drag queen is. Wait, where the hell did Barry get a fucking spy camera? He didn't go back to his hive after discovering the honey in the grocery store, so that means he just had it on him while on his date with Vanessa, which brings up some even more disturbing questions.
Dated a cricket once in San Antonio. Man, those crazy legs kept me up all night.
The movie will simply not miss a chance to throw in a reference to some creepy, crawly, interspecies insect intercourse.
Nobody works harder than bees.
Tell that to Michael Giacchino. Seriously, movie? B. Larry King is the best you could come up with for this fucking cameo? Not Larry Queen or Larry Sting or anything creative?
Larry, bees have never been afraid to change the world. I mean, what about Bee Columbus? Bee Gandhi? Bejesus? Quiet, please. Actual work going on here.
Is that same bee?
Wait, so the whole bees can talk is just accepted now? And even though it's the first rule of Beat 'em not to talk to humans, Barry faced 0 repercussions for breaking it?
I'm helping him sue the human race.
Well, you own a flower shop, so I'm guessing you're a huge help.
I don't know why, but instead of flowers, people are given balloon bouquets now.
Yep, she's right. The last 2 weddings and 3 funerals I went to all had balloon bouquets and almost 0 flowers.
You know, Barry, this lawsuit's a pretty big deal.
That's why I'm mailing it at night after preparing it myself and not even once consulting a lawyer. Why is there a jury? Shouldn't this just be a preliminary hearing? How did the jury even get selected if this is the first day of the trial?
The Honorable Judge Bumbleton presiding.
Judge Bumbleton? This movie's not happy giving me the finger. It wants to also shove that finger up my butthole.
Barry B. Benson versus the honey industry.
You can sue a whole industry?
I'm kidding. Yes, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed.
The whole world was waiting to hear a bee talk for the first time, but now that it's happened, they could care less.
Your opening statement, please.
This movie is basically the non-holiday Miracle on 34th Street for bees. That was actually probably the whole pitch, but since it was coming from Jerry Seinfeld, the studio execs didn't pay much attention to the words and just threw cash at him.
Mr. Klaus Vanderhayden of Honey Farm.
Barry told us earlier that flying is exhausting, but he's hovering during this examination instead of standing. Can this movie ever follow its own logic?
And I see you also own Honeyburton. And Hunron!
Halliburton and Enron jokes always slay.
You mean like this?
Even in a fictitious world where bees are allowed to sue humans for taking their honey, I refuse to concede that the judge would allow a live fucking bear into the courtroom. Honestly, this film could be brilliant if interpreted as a satire on the state of the American legal system.
Have you ever been stung, Mr. Sting?
A fucking Sting cameo? Because his name is Sting? And this is a movie about bees? How did Jerry Seinfeld have any credibility after this movie?
Thank you.
Ray Liotta lampooning himself is worth a sin off, even in a movie this Both articles visible in this issue of Variety have Lorem Ipsum text. Also, Tom Jones? It's not unusual to write articles for Variety. Also, this New York Times is from 2007, this New York Post is from 2004, and this Variety is from 2005, but they're somehow covering the exact same current events.
Are we doing everything right, legally?
I'm a florist.
I'll take conversations that should have happened days ago for 600, Alex.
You think I don't see what you're doing?
Okay, I'll point out the obvious here and note that Ken is scared of losing his girlfriend to a fucking bee, which is goddamn insane. But the fact that he's literally threatening the bastard, knowing full well that Barry will tell Vanessa, is even insaner.
How do you like the smell of flames?
Not as much!
Huh, Ken went from jealous boyfriend to full-on pyromaniac in seconds flat. Barry isn't able to get out of the water and fly away, but he is able to grab a fucking nail file and surf on it. Also, I wonder if he'll tell Vanessa where that file has been.
He happens to be the nicest bee I've met in a long time.
Are there other bugs in your life?
This is an excellent but unsatisfactorily answered question.
Wait a minute, this isn't about...
you a little bed bug?
Listen, this movie's gone completely off the rails, but the main issue here is that Adam isn't objecting to this line of questioning, and that Judge Oprah is letting this fucking circus play out in her courtroom. You're out of order! You're out of order! This whole trial is out of order! Now the movie is claiming that, in addition to being food for the bees, honey is also their blood. The movie saw Toy Story and made the laziest choices possible while trying to imitate it. Why is Adam in a human hospital? Shouldn't he be back at the hive where they have the actual tools to heal him?
What do you think the humans will do to us if they win?
Well, you sued them, so probably not much. The honey companies are essentially defending themselves against a pretty specious fucking lawsuit.
And, assuming you've done step 29 correctly, you're ready for the tub.
Judge somehow did not throw Adam in jail for contempt of court 25 steps ago.
Living out our lives as honey slaves to the white man!
What?
The court finds in favor of the bees.
What the f***? But this is a jury trial. Can you just stop a legal proceeding midway through and declare a winner? Is this justice?
Wait for my signal.
Take him out.
I know Barry won his court case, but because of that, they're letting him command an ATF squad. B-Movie inadvertently invented fidget spinners. So is this a Norma Ray-style workers' uprising? Or a moral fable about the pursuit of ultimately selfish goals that appear to be for the good of the many? Or is it still about a bee-bro trying to bone a human lady? Why the hell wouldn't Vanessa talk to Barry about the lack of pollination long before she ran out of flowers? They're still seeing each other, right? Holy shit, not only did Barry beget this entire urban hellscape, he must have eliminated the entire human population.
I made a huge mistake, this is a total disaster, and it's all my fault.
Jesus Christ, if you took out the repetition and the non-sequiturs, I swear to God, this movie would be 13 minutes long.
Looks like we're going to be experiencing a couple of hours delay.
Barry, these are cut flowers with no water. They'll never make it.
Really didn't think I could care about something less than the relationship between these two, but the plot twists at the end of this movie are making a really good case. Train Pilot is one of the only motherfuckers in this movie to freak out over a bee. Haven't we been through this already? Barry's been all over the fucking news. Somehow this movie is going to end on an action scene with the flower shop girl who talks to bees landing a plane. And it's like 15th on the list of stupid shit this movie has slung at us.
Now attempting to land a plane loaded with people, flowers, and an incapacitated flight crew.
How the f*** did the B News get this information so quickly? Is there a Richard Thornburg up on that plane on a phone leaking details to the press? This works. They chant for Barry to think like a bee, and then he tells Flower Girl to bring the nose of the plane down, but she's not flying the plane. The million bees carrying it are. What the hell's going on?
What in the world is on the tarmac?
It takes air traffic control this f***ing long to notice that one of the runways has been infested with bees.
Hold on, Barry. Here, you've earned this.
Not only did the pollen jocks remember to bring an extra uniform, it's specifically in Barry's size. What? What? Where? I didn't... Oh, shit. This is still going on? Wait, the bees that surrounded a f***ing plane and were numerous enough to form a target on the tarmac all came from one hive in Central Park? Even Barry referred to the flower on the tarmac as consisting of millions of bees. That is so not how pollen works. You'd think a movie that wants to have an environmental message would at least take a quick peek at science somewhere along the way.
Milk, cream, cheese, it's all me. And I don't see a nickel.
So all the animals can talk? And we're just finding this out now? And he's a bee. You're a goddamn cow. How the f*** did you even get out of your pasture to come here?
He's a lawyer too?
Ma'am, I was already a blood-sucking parasite. All I needed was a briefcase.
This movie had 4 screenwriters. Can we squeeze in a joke about a priest, a rabbi, and a preacher into this cliche fest before it's over?
And will this nightmare end?
I just checked, and thankfully only 21 seconds.
Whoa! I'm out! I've been outed! I wasn't even in! One job forever? That's an insane choice to have to make.
You're a very nice guy, but I just don't have any room in my life for a new friend.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No. But I do it anyway because it's sterile and I like the taste.
Bees in the trap, bees in the trap. Bees.
You have got to start thinking bee, my friend. Thinking bee.
Thinking bee.
One of us. Gooba gobble, gooba gobble. We accept her, we accept her.
You get a car! You get a car! You get a car!